Hey team. So we finally have some footage of one of our games, and in the nick of time, just before tomorrow's game, I am recording a little bit of feedback. I think I didn't. I only pulled maybe one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 clips, and I didn't even get through the whole game yet. But I think there's enough in these 7 clips for us to make some adjustments or kind of just see what it is we're doing. And then it'll be like a lot more obvious, like, okay, what kind of decisions do we want to be making tomorrow and going forward that will improve our chances of scoring and therefore winning. So on this first clip, let's see if I'm at the right place. Yep. Okay, so let's go and watch it here. It's a goal kick. They try to clear with a long ball. We deflected back. Then they try to clear it, but she sort of mishits it, and now we have an opportunity here. Good. And then our opportunity is lost. And I I think if we play that differently, we actually have a better chance. So, Isa, this looks like it's you running forward. So great job recognizing the opportunity. You're making your run. However, we have to realize where your advantage is. And your advantage on this play here is that 1, 2 versus 1, essentially, right? Like, these 2 players over here are not really part of this at this point. We can get a shot on goal as a 2v1 at this point. What I need Isa to do is to just make sure she doesn't get the ball. So if you were to go in and use your body to shield the ball, so get your body between the ball and the defender, and then that allows Olivia to make a run out here. So it's very easy if you're standing here on this side of the ball to distribute the ball to Olivia making a run, who can then either take a shot or deliver a cross to someone who's making a run. So I think it's very simple, like we see it now. But always think, hey, win the ball first, win possession, and shield it with your body. Then look at your options. And so recognize here that you have another player here. You don't need to win it and shoot. You need to just win possession and then feed the ball to your teammate. Okay, good. Erase all those. Let's go to our next clip. Number 2. Whoops. Let's make sure where these go to here. Okay, so in the second clip, we have a throw in. It's coming from over here. Whoops, over, and it's over. So the ball's coming in right there. You can see it. Ding. Okay. So it's kind of coming from here. So Kinley's throwing in. Let's just kind of analyze what we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, essentially 6 red players versus 3 white players. So what I would prefer us to do is they basically overloaded on the defensive. So generally speaking, what I'd rather have happen is a player either checks in back here and the throw in quickly goes here to her feet, who then can switch the ball here, and then we switch the point of attack, right? So we've basically gotten away out of the overload, and we've been able to move the ball in the space where there's only 1, 2 players currently, right? And we make them chase us, and hopefully we've got some players that are looking for that. But we need to recognize, okay, they have an overload. Can we drop a player in, and also that would require Bryn here to step back so that we could kind of make a quicker switch. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and watch this. We do actually get a pretty good chance opportunity out of this. A bit lucky on the first part here. Whoops, let's go into 1. So I think here Olivia gets a little bit bumped. We get a little lucky deflection. It comes out, and here Bella does a great job just running with it. Like I love it when you guys just take the ball and go with it. Because what has she done? She's run away with the ball from 3 defenders. And she's found a little gap here to take a shot. Just kind of mishits a little bit. So, unlucky, we'll just call it. If she gets a good hold of it, that thing's in the back of the net, right? Now, I could say, well, what is everybody off the ball doing? Maybe out here, instead of backpedaling, I can't even tell who this is, but instead of backpedaling this direction, it might be better to kind of start to actually make a run forward. Where's the offside line at this point? Is back here with this player. So you have space in here to be making a little mini run. And if anything, if it gets the deflection, you're the first one there to punch it in afterwards. Okay? So just kind of think about some of your movement off the ball, about where the offside line. Don't just retreat out of the goal box. We want to move pressure into it, right? It's when we're attacking, bring players into the box. Try not to retreat out of it. Generally. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so goalie's picked up the ball. Ball's in hand, which means she's going to punt it, especially because of our high line. And I don't mean to pick out too much here, but Olivia, you're and this goes for anybody playing the right and left mid. So I'm not just picking on Olivia here. She just happens to be a good example at this point. We're being way too casual about walking back. You should already be here in this space, right? Let our three forwards handle the press, right? I don't need more than 3 pressing. And sometimes I'd almost rather just have one putting a strong press and the other 2 sort of taking away next options. It makes it just too easy, because as soon as she's punted the ball, right, what's going to happen is, come on here. Okay. Already she's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our players just got cleared. We need to maybe let them, if they clear 3 of our players, that's okay, because how many do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have 4 up here anyway. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 back. So, I'd rather, 4v4 is not great. We need 5v4 or even 6v4 to really stop any sort of attack. We want to have the overload in that situation. So let's not get ourselves caught out of position. So the left and right backs, you guys have some of the most running to do, because you are such a, you're just running up and down the sides of the field a lot. So manage it, but always at least give me a jog back so that we get in a position to be effective. Okay, so from here, this is a little mistake right here. And let me just point this out. I want the number 6 to receive this out of the air, okay? I don't need my center back, Kinley, coming up. I know you love to knock those ones down. But I think what happened here is, because we had 2 players going for the ball out of the air, there's a little bit of hesitation. You're kind of having to keep one eye on the other player and one eye on the ball. And as a result, both players miss it. And it leads into, if she doesn't fall, she's gone, right? Luckily, she fell. Kinley's able to recover. And then the next thing here I would point out is, it's actually a pretty good play out, Kinley, because you recognize that she was there and you just played the ball into space. Jade, great job getting there. I think once we get to there, nice little touch around. You've done everything so well. And then at this point, it's almost like we just let her have it again. And so what we want to recognize is, once again, the theme of using your body to shield the ball, win possession, and then find feet, right? And we can do that pretty simply with this. Hold on, where'd my drawing tools go? Okay, so if you were to shield this player off, you've got our midfielder coming up to help you. So all it's going to become is, okay, shield the ball, play it at Maya's feet, who's already making a forward run, and we've broken through the lines, right? Because you try to cut back in towards the player, that gets her foot. She gets a touch on it and is able to win it back and play it forward, and now they're on the attack to try and score. Let's go into here. Let's go into our next one. Okay, so in this instance, the ball up here in the top left is being cleared, I think pretty sure by Kinley. I think on a general note, while we're just talking about that, I would prefer balls to be cleared as a pass to a player as opposed to always high, depending on the level of pressure you're under. If there's an extreme overload and you're going to clear a bunch of players with a high ball, great. But in this instance, the ball's so high, it becomes a 50-50, which means 50% you're going to be having to defend the next. You're just going to have to defend it again. Okay, so in this instance, though, the ball, I actually think Sarah gets a nice touch on the ball with her foot. A little unorthodox, right? But she gets it up. Next player gets a header. Keeps fighting for it. Okay, right here, we're going to stop. So, I kind of was, I remember this play during the game. And I remember being a little frustrated at first because Sarah, if you recall, you just sort of kick the ball forward in a kind of awkward kick. You'll see here, boink. And it just kind of gives it to the other team and then goes out of bounds. But as I kind of looked at it more, I kind of understand why you made that choice. And the reason is you were being overloaded to the point where you really had nowhere to go with it. So I don't really fault you for that choice. I fault your teammates for the choice for not being there to give you some more options. Okay, so I'm going to actually try to zoom in on this real quick. Let's get about 100%. Use our full resolution here. There we go. Okay. So once again, here we are. Okay. Okay, here comes the ball. Sarah, boink, pops it up. She heads it. Now Sarah's got possession and stop. So there's the awkward quick kick, right? But what are her options at this point, right? What have we done to help her? Have we overloaded our teammates to give her some options? No, we haven't. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 reds, okay, against 2 whites. 1, 2. She doesn't count. Too far away, not visible. She doesn't count because she's got a red player in front of her. So, who are the players that could be helping in this situation, right? I think this is Gianna. Gianna, I would send you out wide to this space right around here. Okay? Because that's the one area where Sarah can play to you and be completely unobstructed. Right? And that also forces this defender to have to follow you. Then I need Maya, who is on our team, but guest playing. She needs to come forward. Bella, I think this is you. You need to step in. I actually think Bella Spalding, you started making a run forward. It was premature. First, you probably needed to check into this space here, right? So that Sarah could have an option to maybe pass it ding, 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 right over here to you, right? And then you guys could actually do some give and goes to get the ball forward again, right? So don't make your run prematurely because you'll end up leaving your teammates hung out to dry and forced to basically, lose possession. And so this is not, I'm not sure. I think that's Bella. Sorry, guys. That's Nicole, I believe, right here. Right? So anyway, recognize when you are outmatched in numbers, and let's go into those areas and help out. I know you guys have been, for so long, coaches yell at you, don't swarm. This isn't swarming. This is like going to the rescue, okay? This is going in and helping your teammates get out of a tough situation, and then we can switch to play. Look, one of you is always going to stay out here, right? Over here on the right mid, you're probably going to have Olivia or somebody. So once you've made, a pass this way, a pass forward, maybe by that time Nicole's gotten here and we can pass out to Nicole. Now Nicole can switch out of there, right? But it's going to take a couple of rondo, tiki-taka little passes to get out of that situation, and that only works when you have numbers. So just imagine, hey, we're overloaded. We're going to counter the overload, form a little rondo in the middle of the field, and just keep possession until we can play out of it, right? And then we look for an out. Makes sense? Yeah, I think that's like probably a pretty good way to think of it. Think of it as we're gonna have a quick little rondo in the middle of the soccer field, and then we're trying to get out of the rondo and then advance. All right, so here's a nice little attack where the ball's played for it. Sarah almost gets the flick on it, but then it just ends up going past, and Bella's able to make a nice run onto it. And then this is like the key critical moment. Let me kind of slide over here so you can see. So right here is actually, we're in a great position right here at this point, okay? And we're in a great position because we have the overload. They have 1, 2, 3 defenders, 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. So 4v3. How can we maximize and use that to our advantage? And what happens is we get oftentimes when on those sort of breakaway moments. So this is kind of first for Bella Spalding in this instance. We think, oh, we're going to make it. No, they've already recovered back to the middle, right? So the play here is to recognize, okay, if it's just Bella versus them, it's 1v3. That's not good, okay? But if we turn our space into here, it's 4v3, right? So if Bella uses her body, shields the ball, plays back to Sarah, Sarah then has vision because she's facing this way, okay? We have a runner here, and we have another runner coming up here. Sarah now has vision to play a ball in front here, and then that can then become a front into here. So then it's still nothing. At the worst, it's a 2v2 by that point. But assuming Bella continues to make a run forward as well, it's a 3v2, 3v3. But you see how that works? So it's basically, hey, just a quick back pass into this. That gets it forward. And then over here to switch to the point of attack. So to switch to the point of attack basically means, hey, this is the point of attack where the ball is, right? We're attacking into this way. By one back pass, switch into the runner over here. Now the point of attack is from over here. Make sense? All right. So let's go ahead and let this play out and see what happens. Okay, tries to make a beat. You actually almost beat that girl on that little play. She fell, so I guess you did beat her. But by now, what's happened is they've had some time to get some players back. So in the current situation where you are, it's 1, 2 whites versus 1, 2, 3, 4 reds almost. So it's maybe a 2v2, 2v4. Now if you could get a pass off, great. But now they've closed down the space too much, right? And now the ball gets played out. So don't squander, think, hey, I just got the ball down there. We're getting into an attack zone. I know, you're the first person, right? And you know that it's you and you can see 3 players. So recognize, hey, I'm going to take it. They all got their eyes focused on me. I know I'm going to have teammates behind me. So I'm going to shield the ball, play back to somebody who has a little more vision maybe than I do. And then they can switch to play, right? So let's use each other in those moments. Okay, next, I think this is maybe the last one, and it's a little, oh, I got two more. Sorry, guys. Okay, it starts with a throw-in from the right side. So it's over here. Ball comes in. Okay. A little bit of a heavy touch, Nicole, but tries to get to it. You almost win it here. And then we do win it. So we get enough to the point where Isa has it. But let's kind of real quick, let's count the overloads. Who's got it? Right now I've got 1, 2, I guess we could probably count 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I'm just counting players of Isa towards the net, it's Isa versus, if I don't count this player, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5, right? So there's no way any player is going to be able to just turn right here and make their way to the net without getting shut down. No one's going to do it. Messi could maybe do it. Okay? So the play here, when as soon as you made that turn in, it's almost like game over, right? You're just gonna get attacked from all sides. So what the better play would be here is this is when we need to start really using our backs, and we need to trust them. And we need to work with them because they're there to help us, right? So if you immediately left foot past that to Jade, and Jade, you might actually, you're kind of giving like a very narrow passing lane, right? If she passes it directly to you, she might get a foot on it. So you should probably position yourself even more out here. You already have all the way to this blue line. You might as well be over here. Make it an easy pass. Give yourself some more time, right? Then from there, you've got either Kinley. So you could kind of, Kinley would probably drop off a little bit. You would switch it over to Kinley, who would probably be faced by some sort of pressure. But by that point, then it just becomes, do we have an overload over here, right? We have, well, what would we get, right? So if we get it to Jade, we have Jade, Kinley, looks like Maya, Bryn, and Gianna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1. Let's go ahead and count her. 2, 3, and then she would join in at some point. 4. So we have the overload at that point. And then we've also got another player out here. Maybe I think that's Sarah. That eventually, if they all compress in, then it's going to be pretty easy to find Sarah out there in the wing. But we have to get it out of here and back around over there. So we got to switch the field. Okay. So that would have been the better play than trying to turn and somehow beat that. Because what happens here is you end up just playing back into pressure. Bing. And... oops, kind of skipped on us. The ball kind of pinballs around for a little bit. Eventually, they get a through ball. And look at that little give and go. But this is actually a really good moment here. Well, I love this. This is like one of the good things we did. So we know that we got caught out of position, right? They did a counterattack. And look how quickly we got our players back, right? So, matter of fact, I would almost be curious to see which way. So as soon as it looks like red's gonna get the ball, so it's sort of a 50-50 moment right here. Not anymore, right? Look what Bryn's already doing. Bryn's already got her body facing towards her own net. She's already going, right? Jade's already got her body facing towards her own net. We kind of all recognize this is where things are going. Kinley, I think Kinley's holding on some hope. Maybe she's gonna block this ball. And no, it goes around, and then she gets back. Okay, cool. So now look what happens. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players already back. 6 coming. They've only got 1, 2, 3 forwards, right? So what's interesting to me is, and then Jade, you did what we did. We did a great job doing what we call containing, right? Containing means instead of going up and trying to tackle her, which she wanted you to do, because if you go to tackle and she beats you, then now she's got options, right? She'll just keep advancing the ball forward. But you contained her, meaning you just stayed in front of her and you forced her to go in or out. Now, generally speaking, we try to contain this way and force the player into these out towards the touch line. But I don't even really mind this that much because it ended up working in our favor. However, it worked in our favor because number 3 here made the wrong play. So 3 gets it. Okay, she's got it. Now Jade's putting on the tight pressure. I love it. It's making her life more difficult. And this is where it causes them to make a mistake. Because she should not have tried to play that ball forward, right? We have too many white players back. What she should have done is played it over here to this wide open player who can then advance the ball at least another 15 yards. And also that gives the red team starting to balance the field, right? No more overload for us. It starts to balance them out and give them at least a 5-on-5. So that's sort of like a good example of what they did wrong. We did great in this instance. And I think we win possession on this next one. We play it back here. They try to play it forward again. And it goes out of bounds. And that's the end of that. Okay, the last clip. What's happening on this one? So this is a fairly long one. Okay, it's the longest one of the bunch. All right. So we're trying to play the ball. We did some back and forth passing, some 50-50s, control. Kinley clears it. That clear I'm okay with, Kinley, because it was sort of like you were under very tight pressure. You just had to get it out, right? A lot of sort of kickball happening between both teams as we kind of just bounce it back and forth. I love this right here, Issa. That attack from behind. Basically, you saw that and you said, "Nuh-uh, not in my house," right? Look. This is our forward, guys. Our forward is running back to make that attack, while some of our other players are not doing a whole lot of work, right? So, I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but think about where this play is occurring. Okay. Boom, let's see. Right there. And we have nobody occupying this whole space right here, okay? We have lots of players over here occupying this space, but we don't even have possession of the ball. It's just been kind of bouncing around. So let's kind of like think, when there are 50-50 situations, we can't all just overload the front thinking, oh, we're gonna flip the coin, maybe we'll win this time. It's like, no. We have to maintain our position. So in this instance, I would say, Olivia, you should probably be back here in that space, taking this player out of any sort of counterattack. I would say we have Carly here, and I'm not sure. I think Gianna is playing the left mid. Okay. So we have Carly and Nicole probably up here somewhere. So Carly, I'd say somebody back here would be preferable, right? Because at this end, you're probably thinking, well, how do we attack? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they've got 6 players up there defending that space, and we've only got 3 backs. We're matching, and if they counterattack, we're over. So we really need to fill in these gaps here and not allow such an easy through ball to get through. I'm not quite sure if I'm making this clear. Let me think about that just for a second. Okay, I've thought about it for a minute, and I've decided that this is the most clearest way to do that. When the balls are 50-50 up here, I need my right mids and I need one of my holding mids to be back here. I can't have both 6s up here. No way. Okay? So remember, if one holding mid, one of the 6s is forward, the other one's going to play back. All right? If you're not currently engaged and we're not in possession, then I need my right and left mids to be more conservative and be back at least around here. You should be at least level, if not a little bit behind the ball, until you're ready to make that run forward. Okay, so now they make this little play. Great job coming back and defending. She kind of gives up. Great job getting out of her way, clearing the ball. Okay, Carly. Okay, so this is actually really good because Carly receives this pass. I think it comes from Maya. Okay. So it's a pretty strong pass. You do a good job maintaining possession. It looks like you wanted to turn with it, right? So you kind of received it, but the touch kind of got away from you. So now you're basically facing negative, and you do the right thing, which is you play it back negative, right? You're facing negative, you play negative. So you find the easy open pass, great. Now the mistake here, Kinley, I think, recognize when it's a pressure clear, meaning you're under a lot of pressure, you just need to clear the ball, and realize when it's just a back pass for you to then redistribute the ball, okay? There's a difference between clearing and just distributing. Here I need a better distribution and not really clearing, especially since we're not even near our own box at this point. We're kind of closer to the mid. We're definitely in the midfield right now. And they weren't applying a lot of pressure on you. So our number 8, Lily, That's a very easy open pass to her right there. She turns, she passes it this way. We go out wide and we're attacking. Okay, so when you give these clearing, I know it's fun to do, and it's, you know, you got a ball rolling at you, you just want to kill it. But how much more effective is it when we get it to our player's feet instead of giving it a 50-50? She heads it, flicks it back. We're trying to win it again. Sarah, you fell. And maybe you got fouled. Okay, so, right, I don't want to give, I want to reduce the number of 50-50 balls that we're offering. I want to win them, but remember, it's called 50-50 for a reason. It's because you only get half of them, right? So let's try to reduce how many of those we're creating. Let's create more 90-10s, like 90%. I want 100%, but let's create at least passes where it's like 90% we're going to get that pass before the other team does, right? Those are the kind, if we do that more often, we'll maintain more possession, we'll move the ball down the field better, and then we'll start scoring and winning. Okay, so, guys, that was about a 30-minute review of the game. You can see why I only picked that many clips, but I think there's a lot of good stuff in there. There was one other concept that I did want to point out. Okay, this is that moment when Kinley and Maya both went for the same punt, and they both missed. Okay, so the ball goes between them, and then Kinley does a nice pass out here into space, and we get it here. Okay, so just kind of look at this moment right here. This is what I do not want to see anymore. I want to reduce how often we're standing in a line across the field. This is very easy to defend. And it's very hard for us to attack with that sort of shape. What I want instead is staggered lines. So don't think of a straight line. Think of, hey, am I in line with my player? I'm going to drop in to this space so that I get a player here, 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 and here. Okay? What that allows is it creates diamonds and triangles, right? So if I were to kind of see, if let's say Jade has the ball, she has a diamond shape, right? We have a triangle between those players, and we have a triangle between these players. These triangles, I mean, you guys know how often we do drills in triangles or diamond type shapes. That's why, because this is where you maximize the percentages of completing a pass to your teammate. It's very hard to defend a triangle. Defending a flat line is easy, because once the ball gets to, say, Olivia, who does she have to pass to? Every one of her options is in the same passing lane, right? And so for this defender, what does that defender have to do? They only have to block that pass. If Olivia now has, let's just reverse that. Let's say Olivia has the ball goes to Olivia out here, and she's got a player here and here. Okay? Well, now that one defender has to defend two of those people, and depending on if she shades this way, the pass goes here. If she shades that side, the pass goes here. So let's stagger our lines and create more. And you guys know what I mean by staggered, right? So if I'm just doing like a top down, like one, here's everybody's in a line, right? Here, everybody is staggered, right? So let's do this more often. Tomorrow's game, we're going to we're going to do things a little bit different. So we're going to have, let me just kind of go to a black space here. Yeah. There we go. All right, so for tomorrow's game, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 backs. All right. There's our goalie right here. Goalkeeper. All right. I'm going to do basically 5 midfielders, but I want them to sort of stagger. So we're going to have a holding midfielder. We're going to have 2 midfielders here. We're going to have 2 out wide. Okay. So that's basically 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 2 forwards. Okay. So this would be essentially, we're doing 3, 5, 2, if you really wanted to like give it a number. But recognize that when I say 5 midfielders, I never want 5 lined up side by side, right? I want there to be these triangle shapes here. And we're going to basically play one holding midfielder, so it's just to sort of help reduce how often, to kind of simplify the rules. When we have 2 6s, there has to be some more coordination happening. And we are missing Nicole tomorrow as well. So because of that, especially, we're going to play one holding midfield here. And then these two will be basically number 8. So they're what we call box-to-box midfielders, right? So here's your field. And you have like a penalty box here and a penalty box here. And goal box, goal box, goal, goal. Okay. Box-to-box is basically from here to here, right? This is your coverage. That's how much of the field we need you to cover. So the nice thing about this is this very easily can turn into if the holding midfielder can drop back, it can become 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 backs very easily, and then that can be supported with 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can get back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players and still maintain your 2 forwards up here. Okay. So yeah, these will basically be sort of like 2 attacking forwards / strikers, but they also so it's not like we're just gonna have 1 striker, if that makes sense. But it's just going to be that's where there's going to be need a little bit more coordination, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. But the idea is basically those 2 forwards, depending on which way the ball is played. So when we're defending, right? If we're defending a field, and the ball is being attacked, they're attacking, say, in this side of the field, right? So this forward on this side would drop back more. That other forward could stay high or even high and central. If we're attacking this side, then it's the opposite, right? Okay. And then when we're pressing, so when they have the ball, say they're doing like a goal kick, if they goal kick out this way and they try to play out the back, then this forward goes and the other forward kind of covers, right? And on a goal kick, if the goal kick goes out this way, then this forward goes and the other forward covers behind that way and tries to take away passes. Pretty basic. All right. Now I went to 38 minutes, darn it. This is a long video. I hope you guys have time to watch it before the game. You do. You have all morning. Have fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.